This is Mark Bell from Super Training Gym. Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, and we have another Flashback Friday or Throwback Thursday, whatever the hell we're calling this sequence. Anyway, you're going to see some interesting things in the following video. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this. You're going to see an invention at its infancy in this very video. So let's go to the videotape. Here I am back in the old days hitting up some heavy-ass bench pressing. You can see I'm in a bench shirt. That's an Inzer bench shirt from back in the day. I believe it's called the Rage X. All these bench shirts had all these weird names. That was $775 for a handful of reps. And here's Hoss Cartwright from back in the day. Big Scott handling some heavy weight. And you can see he's in a slingshot. And not only is it in a slingshot, but he's in the very slingshot that is on my mantle at my house. When you first walk into the Slinger Mansion, this is exactly what you see. This is the first prototype slingshot ever in existence. And you can see how easily he's handling that 505 pounds. I believe he just squeaked out about 8 reps in there. The training environment in Super Training Gym has changed quite a bit. The environment from back then was just so intense. There was just so much weight being thrown around. People are still getting after it in the gym, and people are still working very hard, but it's a little bit different when you have somebody benching 405, 500 pounds, instead of handling these massive weights that you're kind of seeing here, 775, 800 pounds, and also the enormous squats that were being moved around at that time. So things have changed quite a bit in the gym, and things have changed quite a bit with how we actually trained. When you lift in a bench shirt or when you lift in any sort of powerlifting gear, you absolutely can't do repetitions. It's not smart, and it's nearly impossible to do sets of 3 and sets of 4 and sets of 5. It's also very difficult because the intensity is so great, the amount of weight that you use is so great that you can't get in a lot of volume. It's very, very difficult. And so you're seeing me here handling many sets, but also every set is just a single. And what made me a good bench presser in a bench shirt, I successfully hit an 854-pound bench in multi-ply gear and an 832-pound bench in single-ply gear, and at one point broke the all-time world record with an 805-pound single-ply bench. At the time, it was the biggest bench ever done in single-ply competition. The reason why I was good at that was for the simple fact that I just would never give up. I would wear that shirt until I died, and I would keep practicing in it and practicing in it and practicing in it. So those of you that are having a hard time with a particular lift, just keep working at it. Keep chipping away, and eventually you'll get to where you want to be. So here you can see I'm using the no country club technique from back in the day. I'll explain country club. Country club is when somebody takes the dumbbells and puts them up on your legs. Now, double country is when somebody actually sets the weights up for you in whatever position it is that you're going to use the dumbbells in. And that's usually you have a spotter on each side kind of handing them to you simultaneously. So we don't want to get into the country club. What we want to do is we want to be able to be a savage. We want to be able to pick those weights up ourselves, and we can't pick them up ourselves. Then let's use something a little bit lighter that we can actually handle. And so this is the way I was brought into powerlifting. This is the way they taught me how to do it back in the day. And so this is what I suggest you do. If you can't pick them up yourself and you can't get them into position, then you don't deserve to use them. Now you can also see I'm wearing weird shit. I'm wearing a bunch of weird stuff on my elbows, and you see the seams hanging off of these things. And Juan Laiha, who's been a longtime member of Super Training Gym, actually sewed these products together for me because I had, believe it or not, I had elbow pain, even all the way back then. I think this video is from fucking 2009 or 2010. I've had pain in the elbows for many, many moons, many, many years, and so I was always thinking of products. I was always thinking of inventions and different things to try to do to allow me to not miss workouts, to allow me to keep training like a beast, and to keep pushing hard and push through and around these injuries. And so there's kind of the early stages of some compression cuffs. I'm also going to let the rest of this video play out because I want you to see the camaraderie between me and Dick Lickerson and of a lifter named Jim Stroud. Jim Stroud came out here from Maine. Unfortunately, his roommate killed somebody, and so he didn't stay out here for very long. But Jim took the atmosphere from Super Training Gym and went back to Maine, took that atmosphere that we had here, built his own gym, and that gym spawned him to start a group of powerlifters. And one of the powerlifters that he ended up having a positive effect on is named John, and John trains here now. I don't know John's last name. Anyway, Fat John with the beard trains here now at Super Training Gym because he met Jim Stroud in Maine and trained at his gym. Anyway, I'm going to let the rest of this play out. There's Dick Lickerson. Strength is never a weakness, and I'll catch you all later. Total and complete failure. Just like everything else he does in his life, he even takes his sets to failure. This is awesome. Look at this guy. Immediately dropping down. Hey, why don't you try locking those out? Oh, yeah.